Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to talk about the absolute heart of your home's comfort, your HVAC system. It's that one piece of equipment we all totally depend on, but almost never think about, right up until the moment it dies. I mean, just think about it for a second. Day in, day out, your HVAC is running, fighting off that scorching summer heat or a brutal winter freeze just to keep you comfortable. It works way harder than your fridge, your oven, you name it. It is truly the unsung hero of your house.
Oh man, we have all had that moment of pure dread, right? The air gets heavy, the house goes dead quiet, and you just know something is very, very wrong. That silence? That's the sound of an emergency. But hey, don't panic. Understanding what's actually happening is the very first step to getting back in control.
So, before we jump into troubleshooting, let's take a quick second to really appreciate what this system is doing for us. Because once you get its vital role, you'll know exactly why taking care of it is just so important. This is such a perfect way to think about it. Your HVAC system literally breathes air in, treats it, and then circulates it through every single room, just like your own lungs and circulatory system. And it's doing all this while fighting crazy heat, sticky humidity, and even shifting ground that can put stress on all its connections. It is in a constant battle to keep your home comfortable.
The thing is, your HVAC system almost never fails without giving you some warning signs first. The real trick is learning to speak its language. So, in this next section, we're going to put on our detective hats and learn how to spot the clues that mean trouble is brewing.
This is usually the very first red flag homeowners notice, and it doesn't even show up in your house. It shows up in your mail. You open that electric bill and you just think, whoa, wait a minute, that can't possibly be right. A sudden jump that you can't explain? That's a classic symptom of a system that's struggling.
So what's causing that crazy spike? Well, it could be a few things. A simple, dirty filter can make the whole system gasp for air, which then leads to dirty coils that have to work overtime. Low refrigerant? That almost always means you've got a leak somewhere. And leaky ducts? Oh man, that means you are literally paying top dollar to air condition your attic. Every one of these things forces the system to run longer and harder, and it's your wallet that feels the pain.
Ah yes, the classic story of two different climates in one house. Your living room feels like an icebox, but your bedroom is basically a sauna. This isn't just a weird quirk of your home, it's a huge sign that the conditioned air isn't actually getting to where it needs to go.
And this all comes down to an airflow problem. Leaky ducts are a major suspect. They can waste up to 30%, a third of your conditioned air before it ever even reaches you. But sometimes it's as simple as a blocked vent. What's really key here, though, is an improperly sized system. Too small is obvious, but a system that's too big is just as bad. It'll blast cold air and then shut off too fast. That's called short cycling. And it never gets a chance to properly dehumidify the air or spread it around evenly.
Okay, these are the symptoms you just can't ignore. When your system starts clanking, grinding, or squealing, or you smell something musty, or worse, something electrical coming from the vents, your system is screaming for help.
Each sound and smell is a very specific SOS. That burning electrical smell, that's a red alert for an overheating motor or a wiring problem. A loud clanking or banging could be a loose part about to break off and cause major damage. And that musty, dirty sock smell? Yep, that's often mold growing in your ductwork. The bottom line here is, these are not wait-and-see problems. These are act-now warnings.
Okay, so the technician has found the problem, and it's a big one. Now you're facing that question every homeowner dreads. Do you sink more cash into fixing an old unit, or is it finally time to replace the whole thing? Let's look at a really simple tool that can help you decide. This is a fantastic rule of thumb that a lot of people in the industry use. Now, it's not a law set in stone, but it gives you a powerful financial guideline to help you cut through all the stress and make a logical decision instead of an emotional one.
And the process is just simple math. It'll only take you a second. First, you've got to know how old your system is. Most of them last somewhere between 12 and 15 years. Second, get a firm repair quote from a pro you trust. Then, you just multiply those two numbers together. That's it. Let's look at a perfect example. Say your unit is 12 years old, and the repair is going to cost $500. You multiply 12 by 500, and you get $6,000. Since that number is more than $5,000, the rule suggests that putting that $500 into a system that old probably isn't a great long-term financial bet. Replacement is probably the smarter move.
And this chart really lays it all out, right? A repair is cheaper right now, for sure. But on an older system, it might just be the first domino to fall. A replacement is a bigger investment up front, no doubt, but it buys you way higher efficiency, which means lower energy bills, and the amazing peace of mind that comes with a brand new warranty. Calling for a repair can be really stressful, especially if you have no idea what to expect. But a professional service call really shouldn't be a mystery. Let's walk through what a transparent, high-quality service experience should look like so you know you're in good hands.
Any good, reputable company is going to follow a really clear process. First, they diagnose the actual root cause, not just the symptom, and they give you an upfront price. No surprises. Once you give them the thumbs up, they do the repair. And, this is critical, before they leave, they test the entire system to make absolutely sure the problem is solved for good.
We've spent a lot of time talking about what to do when things go wrong, but now for the most important part, how to stop them from going wrong in the first place. This is where you switch from being a victim of HVAC failure to being the hero of your own home's comfort.
This right here is your action plan. Changing your filter is the #1 thing you can do. It's cheap, it's easy, and it prevents so many issues down the line. Scheduling seasonal tune-ups is like a checkup with the doctor for your system. A pro can clean it and check all the critical parts before the extreme weather hits. And the 2-foot rule, just make sure your outdoor unit has at least 2 feet of clear space all around it so it can breathe. The rest is just staying aware, being that detective we talked about earlier.
Look, at the end of the day, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, right? A small investment in regular maintenance is the difference between a planned expense and a $1,000 emergency repair on the hottest day of the year. It's honestly the smartest money you can spend on your home.
So that's our deep dive into your home's HVAC system. It works so hard for you behind the scenes. So as we wrap up, I just want you to ask yourself, is your system your home's hardest working hero? Is it really ready for the next season? The power to make sure it is, well, that's in your hands now.